Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly stock market update analysis. I was away last week at a camp, and I'm back. So we'll be looking over at QQQ, S&P 500, Bitcoin, as well as the Mag 7s. And before we get into the technical charts and everything, let's head over to the data. So we're looking over sector data, sentiment data, earnings, dark pool data, as well as economic data. And this week, we are actually still getting rotation from different sectors. I know Friday seems like a outright sell everything day. Um, the tech sector down 5.6% this week, but the financials and healthcare are actually up for the week. So we are still getting money rotation into other sectors. That is why SPY, of course, did not fall as hard as tech did, right? We have the semiconductor sector, the hardware XOXX down 10% in just Friday in itself, which have been fueling this entire rally, right? The semiconductors. So when they drop, um, yeah, as well as the Max 7 dropping at the same time, this is what happens, especially when you're up for 8 weeks straight without any kind of real pullback, right? 34%. This 34% moves are like essentially a whole year, right? Whole year to 2 years of gains sometimes. We did this in like 8 weeks. So in terms of fear and greed, I am just surprised we are sitting at 42, even though we are trading just from the previous session, right? While we're still, before this Friday happened, we were like 2% from all-time highs, and we were already at 54. So that kind of just shows the sentiment in the market at the moment, right? Which kind of aligns with the AAII sentiment data as well. You can see people are still pretty bearish, even just last week and 2 weeks ago. A little bit less this week, but they didn't really flip to bullish, right? They more so still in a neutral camp. You can see these historical, right? We're pretty much in the historical averages in terms of the bulls, but we are still slightly higher on the bear side, a lot higher actually, for this week and last week. So people are still a little bit bearish, but when you grind out for 8 weeks, it doesn't matter if people still are bearish. Market can still give you those 5% down days, especially on the Qs. All right, so earnings. If you guys are any of this, take a screenshot. Not much earnings left. A couple of softwares, Oracle's, Adobe is reporting, but nothing too significant in this area. All right, so dark pools. So dark pool, this is pretty significant, right? If you have Mags, which is the Mag 7s, having a number one largest print coming in, and we are trading slightly below it. I know it has been a hardware and semiconductors rally, but also the Mags, came along with it, some of it. So if they drop and the Mag 7 drops and the soft semiconductors drop at the same time, that's what you create on Friday. Essentially that flush, and I think it's led by Google. Google essentially kind of created this offering, so that made the market participants for the other Max 7 style scared that they're gonna essentially offer after Google offers. So Meta had that news as well, where they potentially have an offer as well. That created even more downside on Friday when that news came out. So that kind of just shows that they're not the Max 7s that have been pumping the money to the hardware are starting to not have enough money to essentially funnel this, all these AI stuff, right? So that created a lot of fear in the market this week, and who knows? We'll have to see if these Max 7s actually have those offerings. All right, so the Qs here got a couple of dark wins, 13 and 16 on the near the close, and 24 up here. So this is pretty significant as well, because this is the actual ETF QQQ. It's not like a derivative, right? If it was a derivative and it comes in a number one or number two largest print, versus the actual Qs coming in with a number one or number two print, is a lot more different, especially with the actual one here. Anything below 25 largest print is very significant for the Qs. So we'll see where we are trading slightly below it just after hours already. But we'll see how it bounces or not bounces, or making me a lower high. We'll go to the charts right after the datas, and we'll see. And so economic data wise, CPI coming next week, and PPI. and initial jobless claims. All right, let's take a look at the charts. So after this big move, what I'm looking for here is, can the bears confirm a downtrend, essentially the daily downtrend? So let's say, this is the left shoulder and this is the move, right? If we get a weak bounce and then it confirms, breaks the neckline, that's a daily downtrend confirmed. So head and shoulders is just an uptrend, right? We're in an uptrend now, and it'll become a downtrend. So what they need to do is make a lower high first when we bounce, and then make a lower low, breaking that low. That would be the daily downtrend confirmed. And when that happens, I zoom out to the weekly charts. That means it's a weekly consolidation happening, because once the daily downtrend confirmed. And for me, even if we come down all the way to 674, it's still a weekly bull flag, and that's about, let's see, there's another 4% away. Doesn't mean we have to get there, but I'm just saying, if we come down all the way to 674 ish, it's still a healthy pullback on the weekly chart. So it's nothing too significant here at this moment. It's very rare we see like a 5% drop. There's a couple of ones like this one here, kind of, we're just slowly grinding up for like forever, and then we get that flush right from here all the way to here. Let's see how long that move was. 57% move, but this was from October 23 to this was a whole year. So a bit different, right? And then we got that flush. It's about like C. It's about a 4%, right? 4% move. Versus here, we were up like 34% in like 8 weeks. So yeah, this flush is a little bit different, but we'll see if bears can confirm that actual downtrend. For me, there's a little bit of support here, right? This is the only structure we have built on the way up. This tiny structure here, which we're kind of coming into it right now. And so let's see if the bears can actually form that head and shoulders neckline and drill it lower. And we'll, even if it comes back to that 674 around here, which is right around here, that'll still be a healthy weekly consolidation. Let's take a look at SPY for a bit. Similar idea. It was only down 2.5% because of the I think the healthcare sector was getting a little bit bid, right? If you get rotations from financials and healthcare, it won't be as much down as the tech stocks. Similar idea. If this forms head and shoulders, let's measure the move from the top to bottom. So the bull flag area for the weekly bull flag is around 710, which actually coincides actually a little bit of this structure. So there's support here. We have built for about 2 weeks. All right, let's take a look at Mag 7. So we'll get a better idea where the Qs might head towards if the Mag 7 is on supports. And it might help the Qs stay afloat in this range. Kind of like maybe something like this. If the Mag 7s can hold up their supports. Before that, let's take a look at Bitcoin first. So last week, no, not last week, I was not here. 2 weeks ago, I was saying this was a breakout above this channel. Right, we've been looking at this channel for a long time, right? Reject, 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 and we broke out. Next thing you know, we can't make a new high. So the first thing they did here, right? Flip support to resistance. Sorry, flip resistance to support. Exactly what we wanted to see, right? This first step is exactly what we want to see as a bull. Finally broke out the resistance. Now it's acting as support. Bounces, but doesn't break the highs. And it would have been okay if we kind of chop around here and then go. But the next thing you know, they don't break to a new high, and then we confirm a daily downtrend. That means it's a failed breakout right here. So 2 signs, don't make a new high, and then we actually confirm a daily downtrend. And once that happened, you can see the relative weakness, right? We're talking about relative weakness 2 weeks ago. Seeing how the market is still going up, up, up. The Qs are still going up. Everything else is going up. This thing was going down already. So when the market turns around, right, this is what happens. It goes even lower because there's a relative weakness name. So when the market's strong, it barely holds. When the market becomes weaker, it goes even weaker. And then we kind of broke every support after we broke this channel as well. I can see the bottom volume is coming in on every candle. So now the scenario bull case here is it could potentially be a break and no fall to kind of like a liquidity grab. We're kind of seeing that right now, right? Everybody and their grandma will have stop losses right below here. I mean, they would have it here as well, all these pivots. So that's why when it breaks through it, there's so much stop selling, right? It breaks to this level, more selling, breaks this level, more selling, and then breaks level to this level, kind of wicks down and came back up. It's kind of like a more liquidity grab around this level. That being said, doesn't mean it's gonna V-shape like this. Will likely potentially maybe get a little bit of relief bounce, and if it just bear flags here, it'll likely go lower, which is what has been doing the whole time in the monthly time frame, right? If you zoom out, right, we come from like 124k monthly bear flag, goes lower, another monthly. This negated the monthly bear flag already, but it's still a weak bounce on the monthly charts, and then it's following through again, right? So longer term picture bears are still winning. I've been saying the longer term picture bears have been winning for a while, even while we were grinding up. So yeah, I wouldn't really step in front of this bear train. I mean, now you can a little bit. If you have a clear level, you can have to stop right below here, right? After this kind of liquidity grab look. Um, if you really want to try for a bounce, right, I would just place my stop right below here. But not my kind of trade. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. It was trying to hold on to this. Looks like it's trying to hold on to this trend line that we've been looking at together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bounces. This is forming a tiny range here, and then it break essentially on Friday. So no signs of stopping. Really closing the low of the day. Probably if we have a longer time, probably would have went to 380. But yeah, there's a little bit of support around this 380. So if we go a little bit lower, gap down, kind of around to 380 and to 375 area, then we may get some kind of bounce there. But bulls don't want to break this 380 support. We have a lot of support at 380. See, prior support acted as a resistance here. Once it broke out, then when it comes back down here now, it should start act as support. So we'll see if 380 bounces. 380 bounces, then it'll probably be more of a kind of like a sideways trade here in range for a bit. All right, let's take a look at Meta. This is just chop. I'm surprised we broke out here and then give it back. So that was kind of like the case for the whole week. A lot of names break out and give it all back. It's not that great of a look. And then Meta had that news where they might potentially do offerings as well to fund that, to fund their AI. And then the next thing you know, this thing is down 5.5%. So yeah, this is not a great look. This is no, you can't even chart this. It's just gibberish in this area. But if you zoom out, yeah, likely more so just continuation of this range until it stops spending its capex, right? Market gets a clear direction if are they going to keep on increasing the capex or not. Maybe if they start to decrease it, then this will start to go a little higher. But for now, no sense of that yet. We'll have to probably wait till the next earnings call for more ideas on it, which is in July. So my guess is either probably within this range into July, unless they come out of the news on next week saying, oh, we're not doing offerings, then this would probably rally back up. So we'll see. All right, let's take a look at Amazon. More so doing a back test now. So what bulls want to see, if they don't bounce at 246, bulls really want to bounce at 236, right? This bounce off of here, so that broke now. So now we're looking at this support, and we didn't even bounce yet, and we closed the low of the day, so there might be more downside. So if we do get more downside, then now I'm looking at these levels at the 238s. 238 breaks, and then I'm looking at 235, which is these levels. So yeah, a lot of supports along the way to here. As long as it holds above 230, 236, those are okay. Let's see. Starting to get a bit not as healthy of a consolidation, right? We just broke the weekly bull flag. We tried to hold it there on Wednesday, but if it comes down here, ideally we don't want to break the 50% retracement mark. That'll start to favor the bears because creating a lot of space. We do have a downtrend here as well, right? The lower high, lower low. But Amazon is known for its sideways action, so if it comes back all the way down here, I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce and it kind of just goes sideways above it here for the next essentially, if there is some kind of move, next catalyst where the market is better. But yeah, let's take a look at Microsoft. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about, where we broke out, kind of like Meta. Finally broke out 430, came above, and then gave it all back. So a lot of names in Max 7s are doing that. So not as great look, especially when these names are such weighted, big names. But we did literally tick the resistance, and then we came back down, right? Prior support, major support here as 470, hit it. Next thing you know, we just tanked. Even the software sector kind of gave back a lot of the gains as well. So little bit of support coming in here, but not that much. We can kind of like just go like this, right? We kind of broke through that already. So if it doesn't bounce here, we're probably going to go more, continue to go sideways again for a while in this range, and then see where it goes. Yeah, it's pretty significant, maybe 11% on a Max 7 name. All right, so Google here, who started everything with the offering, it's down, let's see, about 7%. Fill the gap. Not really. Has still a little bit of gap to fill. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes a little bit lower, to like 480-ish, to test these prior levels. But overall, this chart is still very healthy. No signs of red flags as of, for Google, at least at the moment. Yeah, still very healthy. Only a 37% retracement maybe. If it comes down a little bit lower, I'll be looking at this green line where it's prior major support, and see if it bounces from there, which probably will be around this 340 zone, which coincides with the support on the side to our left here. All right, let's take a look at Apple. Very strong because it didn't. This is the name that didn't spend that much capex really on anything. So market, I guess, is rewarding it at this given moment. And yeah, you can see in the charts, right? It didn't even really care about Friday, down 1.5%, 1.25 actually. So those have signs of red flags. It keeps on going higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows every time. Then it's gonna keep on going up, an uptrend. If it breaks, then we'll zoom out to the weekly charts, and we'll see how much it pulls back. It'll probably be more of like a weekly bear bull flag kind of action here, which it likes to do, right? Breaks out and then makes a sideways action for a while, and then breaks out again, and more of a tightening range. It'll probably break out again. So, all right, Nvidia, not that great of a look, but as long as it's above this 200 mark for me, it's all right. Right, we finally broke out above this channel, and this acted as perfectly acted as the support now. So if it comes down to here and it kind of trades in this range above this range, then that's okay for me in a longer term picture. So we'll see if we can do that. All right, that is all I got for you guys. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow for more commodities update. Have a great rest of you guys' weekend.